Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm just coming back to you with another video today. This one is going to be going over some of the basic applications for Chon-Ji. These are just a few of the many ways that you can use the general movements, but they tend to be my favorite. Chon-Ji translates to heaven and earth, and the way I see this form playing out in this Hyung is it's mainly just showing you two ways to manipulate the elbow joint in order to set up a secondary strike. And these two different ways are demonstrating how you can manipulate the elbow joint down in a straight arm bar and or manipulate the elbow joint up in an arm wrench. And that's displayed by the down blocks in the first half of the form and the side blocks in the second half of the form. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate, and I'll have to do a follow-up video with a partner so I can show you guys how this actually works against a moving opponent or an individual and how the angles would work as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with, again, the belt being the opponent's arm. Okay, now as this is more of a drill in this Hyung. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with I've secured the opponent's wrist, and this is the front of the opponent. Okay, so once I've secured the opponent's wrist, I'm stepping off to 90 degrees of the opponent as I'm lifting this arm. And I'm going to twist and rotate using the sawing motion on the back of the arm while I slide my foot back. So there's three things going on. I have the lift and step, the pulling hand twisting. I have the kind of sawing action of my down block arm, and then the pull of this back arm. And that's just going to help me extend the arm. So I extend and pull down. And as you can see, this is going to go ahead and pull the Wave Master forward. Now, once the opponent's head has gone down into this position, I'm going to go ahead and secure the arm while stepping forward for a massive strike, right? And this is, again, full body weight on the strike, so just going for that full-on knockout shot once their head is down. This also explains why the punch is a middle punch as opposed to, a little higher like you see in Dangan. Okay, so the next technique that we're going to look at is the arm wrench. So the second half of the form, it's kind of it's shown by the side block. Again, if we're going off the drill format, we have the opponent's arm. A good way to think of this is, the opponent, they resist when you step in on that initial technique and they drop their elbow down, right? So it's going to be really hard for me to turn over that arm. So instead of trying to turn over that arm and force against it, I'm going to go ahead and slide this foot back, assuming the back stance. And as I do that, I'm pulling this arm and using my body weight to extend that arm and pull it out straight. Now, at the same time as I'm doing that, I have my bottom arm coming up for the side block. Okay? Now, because of the angle, it's going to be targeting more towards the elbow joint. And because I'm spinning my back foot, it's going to be causing the opponent to lift up this time, as well as it's going to be tossing them forward. Okay? So the effect, it looks a little bit like this. And as you can see, the bag, not a perfect example, but it goes up and then it's going to swing forward. Okay? Now following that movement, assuming the partner had moved into this position and has started turning to face me. So again, I'm at the side of the opponent. They're starting to turn to face me. After I finish this, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to arm drag it to the opposite side of my body. At the same time as I do that, I'm taking my back hand and I'm going to be driving it as hard as I can right into the center of the body. Now this is almost a guaranteed shot. I don't want to go for the head necessarily straight away on this one because I don't have a tactile feel for exactly where it is. Instead, I'm swinging around. I know that they're going to be squaring up to me. At the same time, I'm driving in with a full force punch through the center of the body. And then if they're still standing, I can transition into the last part of the form, right? So I strike through. If they're still standing, I'm going to go ahead and wrapping my head on the side, tucking it down, keeping it away from shots from the backhand. And I'm going to wrap my arm underneath their arm. So effectively what I have, this is the opposite angle. If I did the strike on this side, I underhook, strike, control this arm, and wrap around the side, keeping my head tucked. effectively this is just a low tie-up like you see in wrestling and all sorts of grappling sports as well. So the final part of this form, it's really hard to demonstrate with one of these, so again I'll have to have a follow-up video with a partner, but effectively I see the 2 stepping forward front punches, then 2 retreating front punches as the beginnings of a pummeling drill. So like I segued into from the second half of the form, in this third little bit, you have the first step forward punch, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now all these strikes are done at body level. Each time you can kind of think about if I had wrapped up with an opponent, my hand right here in the back, controlling their other arm. As this is a 50-50 position, so I want to establish a dominant position, right? I take my hand, I slip it in over top, and I'll go through. If they hadn't slipped their arm through, then I now have double under position, and I could turn to the side, lift them up, which almost looks a little bit like the prepare for the form, right? So kind of just controlling their body from double under. Now, if it's a drill, which I do believe it can kind of show a drill format, you have the first step forward, and they go ahead and slide their arm in. So now you're controlling on the other side, okay? You have the second step forward. So this is showing the offensive version, right? And again, if the opponent's pushing into you, instead of fighting against it, it shows you the option of swimming back to get that dominant position. Or again, if they swim with you, you can swim it back, and you end up again holding their back and holding their arm. Your head should be tucked on the shoulder with the arm that you're controlling. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope those little demonstrations helped you out. Very soon I'm going to have out a few videos demonstrating some partner drills for the actual dung gun, so you can see it done against a live person and how their body reacts. Same thing for Chon-Ji. I'm going to be doing some for Do-san very soon and Wan-Yo, so keep your guys' eyes and ears open for those. Thank you.